Across Argentina, members of a cultural and religious group live in several colonies where they forgo technology and reject modernity. They're called Mennonites.
We have no car, no radio, no cell phone, nothing.
I'm totally against cell phones and the internet. It influences people's behavior.
Large families are traditionally the foundation of these Christian communities, which follow a strict interpretation of the Bible. The members avoid contact with the outside world and speak a German dialect. Daily life revolves around religion and manual labor. Many base their understanding of the world on fundamentalist teachings rather than science.
Most Mennonites don't believe in the existence of dinosaurs.
Some of my friends on the colonies did not believe the earth was round.
But some secretly defy the rules and use technology.
Gerhard, go play outside.
At the risk of being excommunicated and separated from their families. Former members openly talk about their experiences and the pressures they faced.
My husband Abraham had a hard time living there and was considering suicide.
I'm happy to be able to go on living.
Mennonites live all over the world, but the communities in Argentina are thought to be more removed from society than the Mennonites elsewhere. We investigated several different colonies for months and were eventually able to gain people's trust, from the most conservative
No photos, no photos.
to the most progressive.
It's too much fun being single yet. I'm very happy I'm not married yet.
Our research begins in northern Argentina, around 1,200 kilometers from Buenos Aires, an Orthodox colony of over 170 families settled here in Pampa de los Guanacos some 20 years ago. Boris lives in the neighboring town. As a driver, he has long been one of the community's only links to the outside world. He agreed to introduce us.
I've been working with the colony for about 8 years. It took me a while to tell them apart from one another. It's not easy. I tell them, you're all the same. Blue eyes and blonde hair. But in time, by living with them, spending the whole day traveling with them, I've gradually learned to tell them apart.
Easter Sunday. The members of this Mennonite community are at church. We're forbidden to get any closer to this sacred place. The end of the service leads to an impressive parade of horse-drawn carriages as the families return home. Boris drives us to the home of Don Abraham. He's never welcomed foreigners before. Don Abraham has even agreed to let us stay in his house, a decision not everyone in this typically closed community agreed with. This is our room. Like the other residents, we'll live without running water or electricity. What's the definition of a Mennonite?
We lead the same life as anyone else. It's just that we're used to living in the countryside, on the fringes of technology, and all that comes with it. It's very difficult, yes. But we manage. We can go inside the house.
The children are curious about our equipment.
Why is the light on? Why is the machine's light on?
It's to record what we're saying. Everything we say can be heard in there.
Mennonites generally consider it impolite to look into each other's eyes. Our cameras seem to create a similar discomfort. Don Abraham is 67 years old. He and his wife Susanna have 9 children and 29 grandchildren. The whole family is invited to Easter lunch. Susanna and the family's other women have been in the kitchen since dawn. They only speak Plautdeutsch, or Mennonite Low German. A man must be present for the translation. What's the role of a Mennonite woman?
Cooking, washing, and cleaning the house.
And raising children, too.
Yes, it's very important. And that's what the mother has to take care of.
Is there a difference between men and women as far as language is concerned, like learning Spanish?
Yes, they never go anywhere. They stay here at the colony. They don't have any opportunity to learn Spanish.
We're given special permission to film this family gathering. The prayer marks the start of the meal. The family begins to eat without uttering a word. Meal times are traditionally held in almost complete silence. Women sit on one side of the table, men on the other. Don Abraham presides over the table. Savory and sweet dishes are put on the table at the same time, and everyone serves themselves. The men leave once they've finished eating, and then it's the children's turn. The women seat them by gender and age. The plates and cutlery aren't replaced, and the menu remains the same. Children are brought up with strict rules: no technology and no swings or slides in the backyard. The adults chat after dinner, and the children go outside to play duck, duck, goose. The school lacks a playground too, and like the church, is a sterile building. We're not allowed inside. All we can hear are religious songs sung in unison. We learn little about how the educational system works or what subjects are taught. All we know is that boys typically go to school until they're 13 years old and girls until they're 12. Teenagers who are no longer in school are allowed to meet on Sundays to play, albeit with strict rules. No contact between boys and girls, and a curfew of 5 p.m. Why is the community so strict? We ask the adults. What do young people want?
They want to further modernize. And it's also difficult for young people to understand our customs, because today, everything is always changing, and they don't understand why things are so.
What happens if you, the adults, discover that young people are drinking alcohol or listening to music?
If it's forbidden, they shouldn't do it. In other words, if parents discover them doing it, they'll teach them a lesson.
The rules derived from their interpretation of the Bible are strict. Just stop here. But are the rules really followed?
Children do many things in secret, and you know what children are like. They're mischievous.
The teens start to feel more at ease around us after a few days, and they soon start breaking the rules.
Play a good song.
What?
A good song.
This radio is a forbidden technology in the colony.
Who owns this radio?
Give it to me.
The teens don't speak English, so they're missing the song's double entendres. Do you understand the lyrics?
No. Oh.
We're just getting started.
They don't seem all that different from average teenagers.
They're all lowering their eyes.
Whose main concern at this age are their first loves. Who has a girlfriend?
He does.
How did you and your girlfriend meet?
What did she say?
How did you meet? At a get-together? Is she a family friend?
How did you meet her?
Oh, I don't know.
Marriage plays a fundamental role for the Mennonites. The Bible tells them from an early age that they must have children to keep the colony thriving from one generation to the next. Guillermo is the governor of the colony and invites us into his home. His wife makes the family's clothes. We notice a white label on the men's clothes in this colony, but told it's a sign of pacifism. One of their core tenets is to reject all forms of violence.
It's our symbol to say, we don't have guns, we don't have knives, we don't kill people. That's what it means.
And all Mennonite men wear this symbol?
Yes, all of them.
Don't Mennonites ever get angry?
Of course we do. We also get angry, and we even argue sometimes, some more than others. But it's never too serious, and we end up forgiving each other.
The colony has no police or prisons, only a governor, like Guillermo, who's been elected for 5 years. What does it mean to be a governor?
I make sure everything is in order in the colony. It's a bit like a steward's job, or like a village mayor. I have to set limits. Otherwise, where will we go? It's my daily job. But it's okay. Everything's under control.
But Guillermo is first and foremost a farmer, like most Mennonites here. The colony farms 8,000 hectares, unfeasible without a tractor. But why are tractors but not cars allowed? And above all, why are the wheels made of metal?
It's completely solid. The wheels are made of iron. Otherwise, it conflicts with the religion. Anything with a motor is not allowed to have rubber wheels.
Because the tractor is a work tool?
Because it's a work tool, not used for the road.
Rubber tires are only allowed on horse-drawn carts. Working the land creates room for a little modernity, but other technological advancements are banned. Guillermo and his sons build horse-drawn carriages for the whole community.
This is for the horses. It's very, very light.
Do you make everything yourself?
Yes, my children make everything.
Even the wheels?
Even the wheels and everything else.
And you can have rubber wheels on this horse-drawn cart?
That's right. If it's a horse that's pulling it, then it can have rubber wheels. Yes.
Is it because there's no engine?
Yes, because there's no engine.
But not everyone agrees with the colony's rules. Some decide to break away. Boris takes us to meet a former member.
I'll take you to a Mennonite who's no longer with the colony. He's gone. David, how are you? Are you working?
A little. Come on in.
David's home has many signs of modernity, a far cry from what his life used to look like at the colony.
This is what I have now that I couldn't have before, because it wasn't allowed. Because they say it's a satanic device, which you can use to do bad things. But if you use it normally, there's nothing wrong with it. I would ask, but why is it wrong? And be told, because. They have no real explanation why.
Is there anything you wanted to have that wasn't allowed?
I bought a radio. It was the first thing I bought, to listen to the news or music. When I left and heard all the news, it was wonderful. The truth is, I couldn't believe it, hearing everything that was going on in the world. But it was happening. It was a radical change.
David was not banned for breaking the rules. He chose to leave the colony voluntarily about 4 years ago. At what point did you begin to think that there could be life outside the colony?
I decided little by little. At first it was about raising the children, but I realized that it was no longer possible to stay there. I couldn't see a future for them. I don't really know what kind of future they were going to have here, but at least they're living in the present. In the colony, they have no way of imagining a future for themselves because they don't study.
For David, there's no going back. He'll never again be part of the community he once called home.
Most people say, he's gone and he's a very bad person. He's not even worth saving. Don't go near him.
David Dick can no longer live here.
And if he wants to come back one day?
He can't come back. He can never come back. No.
What about your family in the colony? Do you still see them?
It's unbearable. I have no contact with my parents, my relatives, my brothers, everyone. Everyone. Nobody wants to see me anymore. Even if I left the colony and stopped believing, that doesn't take away my right to be my mother's son. I'm always a son, no matter where, no matter how. She'll always be my mother.
David wanted to offer his children the freedom he never knew as a child, but had to sacrifice contact with his loved ones. But another Mennonite community about 5 hours' drive from here openly embraces some modernity and freedom. These Mennonites settled in Meitan, in the heart of this lush landscape. But in contrast to more conservative Mennonite communities, the people here live in residential areas among other Argentinians. Owning and driving a car is allowed, and some speak fluent English, like Titus, the colony's secretary.
We believe that cars can be useful for us and for us to interact with the community, for us to be able to travel, because our purpose to be here is to reach the people of Medan, to reach the people of Argentina.
He works at the colony's administrative center, home to the church and a print shop. Computers, scanners, Titus is allowed to use all of these modern machines. He says they're in the service of God since they're used to print leaflets to evangelize and expand the colony.
You know, this machine is a digital machine, and computers, these all facilitate things for us to help spread the word. You know, our forefathers didn't have to deal with the issue of the internet because it didn't exist. But we believe that it's possible for every church, every generation, to decide based on the Bible what is permissible and what is not.
The internet also serves God, at least in part.
I have a filter on my computer that doesn't allow me to go to certain sites, social sites especially. For example, let's go to Facebook. And this is the message that pops up. General news, for example, CNN in Español. Same thing. To avoid temptation and to make it a deliberate choice to do it. I might not accidentally do something I shouldn't do, because on the internet sometimes things pop up.
Titus has learned a lot via the internet, especially about geography and astronomy, his two favorite subjects.
Some of my friends on the colonies did not believe the earth was round. They believe it's flat. They don't know how the solar system works. They don't know about all the stars out there. And I find it fascinating.
Titus was also able to research the history of Mennonites. Founded in the 16th century and named after the Dutch priest Menno Simons, the community was born out of a more radical practice of Protestantism, with an emphasis on community and non-violence.
Most of my ancestors came from Netherlands, from Ukraine. A lot of them moved to Canada. And from Canada, many of them moved to South America, some to Brazil, a lot to Paraguay, and some to Argentina.
Women from the colony run a cooperative store right next door to the print shop.
That'll be $150, please. I like it, yes.
4 of them make pastries here. In Medan, Mennonite women do more than just domestic chores. They play an important role in the community's economy.
I love it here. That's why I'm still here. I love my job.
Some of the women work in a Mennonite store in the center of town, among other Argentine shops.
We usually try to come to work by 7:30, and we're open till 10.
Long days of work.
Long days of work, but if we have a siesta in the middle, it helps.
Titus' sister Marta lives a few blocks from the shop.
Good morning. Good morning, Nata. Come in.
Marta used to teach English at the colony and continues to teach children. She lives with her brother and has chosen not to marry.
It's not like nobody has asked me, but if I get married, I want to feel like that's what the Lord has for me, and be happy. And I feel like the right one hasn't come.
And we wait for God's will, because not everyone can get married. There are some who stay single and others who get married.
The norm for the Mennonites, the married women stay at home and take care of their children, keep house.
You didn't want to get married?
Not yet. It's too much fun being single yet.
It's a choice for you? Okay.
I'm very happy I'm not married yet.
Titus arranged for us to meet at the church to film a service, something we'd long been wanting to do. We waited for him for almost 2 hours, but he never came, and he stopped answering his phone. Then, hello, we received a surprising call.
Hey, hello. This is Larry Weaver calling, minister from the Mennonite Messianic Mission here.
Hi, Larry. We were told by Tito that it would be okay for us to assist and to film the Mass, to film the service.
Well, no, it isn't.
Why didn't you say it so sooner? Because Titus allowed us to film.
You know, I'm sorry about that, but Titus is no longer a member with us, and he has no authorization to give you that permission.
Titus is not a part of your church?
It was about 4 months ago that he was excommunicated. He has made some serious mistakes. I would suggest that you don't pry any further into that. We just feel like this is an intrusion.
Excommunication is the worst form of punishment for a Mennonite who wants to stay part of this close-knit community. We're left wondering if Titus had been lying to us about his role in the colony. We want to ask him, but we can't reach him. His sister Marta answers the phone.
Okay, but you are telling me, Martha, that as his sister, as the person who lives with him, you don't know exactly what happened?
No. I have often been very curious about it. I know a little bit, but finally, will it really help me to know everything that he did? Probably not.
Nevertheless, the next day, Marta keeps a promise to introduce us to some of the newcomers.
This is where they live.
Sarah, her husband Abraham, and their 5 children arrived in the suburbs of Metan less than a month ago. Sarah only speaks Plautdietsch, but Marta agreed to act as our translator.
What are you doing today?
Not much. I should make cookies, but I'm not there yet.
Why did the family decide to leave their former colony and join this one?
My friends in our old colony, the ones we'd often see for barbecues, gathered and talked about me, saying I had all the vices: beer, cigars and coca. And one of them said, "Do you know why he has so many vices? Because the devil is under his table. That's why he has these vices. It seems the devil is working against him, right?"
Así que parece que el diablo trabaja en contra de él, ¿no?
Abraham was caught with a cell phone in his former colony, Nueva Esperanza, or New Hope. His children were kept out of school as a punishment, and he lost his job. He couldn't bear a life banished from his community. The family then moved to this colony.
Abraham had a hard time living there and even considered suicide.
Was there a time when you no longer believed in life or didn't want to live?
No.
I was on the verge of ending my life several times. Yes.
A punto de acabar la vida. Pero estoy contento.
But I'm happy to go on living.
Seguir viviendo.
These communities tend to be governed by extreme social pressure. Sarah gave us the address of her sister Eva and her brother-in-law who remained in their old colony, Nueva Esperanza. The colony is over 1,300 kilometers away. We set off in hopes of meeting them. How did they feel about Sarah and Abraham's banishment? Have they too banished them from their lives? Southern Argentina is a region of wide open spaces and cattle ranches, with magnificent landscapes. The New Hope colony was founded in 1986. It now has a population of about 2,700. It is among the oldest, largest, and supposedly most conservative colonies in Argentina.
No photos, no photos.
Like the other colonies we visited, addresses and house numbers don't exist. Residents are identified by the name and occupation of the head of the family. We are welcomed with smiles, and the family doesn't seem surprised by our visit.
Dust off your clothes.
Do you have a cell phone?
Yes, we have one too.
Is there a cell phone in this house?
Yes.
Where's your cell phone?
My phone? Would you like to see it? What for?
Can we see it?
Gerhard, go play outside.
Hurry up.
Go outside and play.
You don't want him to see it?
I don't want him to see all of this.
They continue to thwart the ban even though their relatives were alienated for possessing a cell phone. It's a link to Sarah and Abraham.
You know him. Abraham? Abraham and Sarah here. And here are Abraham and Sarah with the children.
And you're not afraid?
To be found out? If I'm discovered? If they come? If it gets out? I have to change it. I have to give it away. You don't have to lie.
But how will you manage without a cell phone?
Buy another. In fact, the community doesn't want to tell tourists that there are phones here. Because on the internet, we tell them we've got nothing. That's why they come.
Entonces todo esto
It's all for the tourists?
es para los turistas.
Tourists? Time to learn about Mennonite tourism.
Mi nombre es Analia.
My name is Analia. Do you remember the show Little House on the Prairie? That particular way of life, neither better nor worse than ours, but completely different.
Analia is a professional guide who takes around 30 tourists to spend a day at the colony once a week. The price? About 60 euros per person.
It's a sacrificial life. Everyone works from dawn to dusk, around 11 hours a day in the colony.
We're initially surprised to see that this supposedly strict community is so open to tourists, but we soon discover that the tour runs like a well-oiled machine. Selfies with the children are exchanged for sweets, and Analia is no stranger.
Do you mind? Hello, Margarita. How are you?
Mennonite daily life is put on display here, and some of it is even for sale. From cinnamon buns to doilies.
One more?
Thank you very much.
The tour continues to the church, the colony's most sacred site where we were never allowed in.
Well, let's take a look through the window.
But to give the tourists their money's worth, Analia takes the liberty of opening the shutters to show them inside.
See the wood up there? The men sit on this side, and the women sit on the right. Did you see the benches? What are they like?
Backless.
Backless. And they're backless at school too. I asked the teacher why the benches were backless. He said, so they don't fall asleep.
Since the closest town is an hour and a half away, the guide convinced the Mennonites to open a restaurant for tourists, right in the heart of the colony.
This house where we're eating today belongs to Isaac and his wife. And they have daughters and 2 sons who help the family.
Who are your customers? Who comes to eat here?
Tourists often come in for the asado. The locals around the colony regularly drop in on Saturdays and weekends.
The lunch menu includes asado, a typical Argentine dish. The meal is served in a dining room that looks like any other restaurant. Isaac won't say how much he earns per customer.
It's true that it's contradictory. Everyone says they're living like they did in the last century, but they're not. They have technology and tools for the job. How are you?
The tour ends like many other tours around the world, at the gift shop. The colony's co-op is more like a supermarket where customers can buy everything from products made locally to major brands. They also sell traditional clothing. Scenes of tourists visiting this Mennonite community in droves serve as a stark contrast to what we encountered elsewhere in Argentina. Is this traditionally insulated community becoming more open? One thing's for certain, some members' curiosity about the outside world has been piqued. Abraham, a 20-year-old Mennonite, has had a dream for a long time now. Today, he's going to fly. Mario is waiting for him at the entrance to the colony. He's an ultralight aircraft pilot from the neighboring town.
Hello.
How are you? Mario.
Abraham.
Word has gotten around about today's flight, and a group of boys gather to watch. Some look on a little enviously.
Can 4 people ride in it?
No, just one at a time. Just one at a time. The pilot and one more person.
Abraham had to get the permission of his father, a former governor, to fly today.
Abraham? Is this your first time flying?
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm calm. I'm happy.
Good.
This is my dream come true.
I'm delighted. Let's go?
Yes. I really like it. I'm not scared at all. All is calm. I can see my brothers down there, as if they were dolls. I'm flying, like a bird.
Are Mennonites' traditional ways threatened by modernity, or is there room for change? In these communities across Argentina, it's a question each generation will need to decide on its own.